is Goochooch. I don't say it too loud because you're gonna get mad.
I never know what the fuck is gonna come out of your mouth, so I'm always like, what?
That's why I'm Brittny. I'm Brittny, bitch.
Period. Welcome back. Happy new week, everybody. I just like everyone to know that we're officially in fall. Well, you are. I'm not, because I'm in sunny Florida, but I miss the fall.
Jelly.
So mentally, I want to be in a pumpkin patch right now.
Pumpkins are out here already.
I have some here too, but it's not the same. It's like I'm looking at a fucking pumpkin in 90-degree weather. What the fuck is that? But whatever. I chose the state. Yay!
Facts.
Alrighty. So we are your host. I am Jessica.
What's up, boo-boos? I'm Brittny Fontanez.
And you are listening to Mystifying Reality.
Reality.
Oh,
Your heart guy.
You usually go beyond that, so I was waiting for it to be a little longer. Okay.
No.
So this week we are going to be talking about culture and relationships, whether it's friendships, partners, even families. It's all in one. Obviously, we're going to be talking about our cultures because we are not a part of others. So don't feel like we're coming for anyone. If anything, we are coming for our own. Thank you very much.
Facts. That's what we do best, anyways.
Exactly.
But I find this topic interesting. Oh my god, I'm glitching.
Yes.
This topic is interesting because Jessica came up with it. But what I've noticed when it comes to connections in life, like even back in the day, if you realize we're on the same, like Earth is a school and we're on the same curriculum from when like the American dream started up until now. And it's like we were taught to like we always have to compromise. We always have to make sure we're not stepping on toes. We always have to keep the peace in connections. And we can't speak the truth. We can't out anything.
Obviously, she's Hispanic.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, if you notice, a lot of like brown people can see the differentiations of like how connections work. It's very interesting. But like we're coming from our own culture. We're not coming from anyone else. But like for me, I've noticed that in my own experience personally, my family, especially on my mom's side, they were always codependent on people who were so detrimental to their health. It was to the point they allowed themselves to be destroyed just to stay in a relationship or just to make someone happy. And I know I broke that chain. That curse, I would say, is because I'm not reliant on other people taking care of me. I'm not reliant on, having company. And I felt like I was taught to allow people to control you, allow someone else to take the lead, and you need to stay quiet. You need to stay in the back and not be seen and be told what to do. And that's really distorted my way of having healthy connections within other family members, friendships, and relationships. All because I was taught that like I have to give up control. I have to give up myself to be seen, to be heard, or even to receive love when it's really just fucking breadcrumbs. So if I want to speak on a higher spectrum, we like today, everyone, they stay in toxic connections instead of allowing themselves to think bigger and to receive better. And I feel like because of that, we do whatever we can to compromise our morals, our values, to make that other person happy while we're unhappy. It's like we tolerate shit we shouldn't tolerate, all because we were taught that we need to give up ourselves to make other people feel special. And it's like, what about me? What about like what matters to me? So it's, yeah, my perspective on relationships has been very, very fucking old school, and I don't like it. I don't like it. That's just my opinion.
I think I agree with that. I think for me, the reason why I brought this topic up was because all my life, I would say up until college, and even that's hella late, I feel like I was a very respectful person, whether or not I thought what I well, what am I trying to say here? Whether or not I showed that in my way of thinking is a different story, but at the end of the day, only I know what I was thinking. Um, I feel like everyone old school, obviously we're talking about Hispanic culture, was taught to grow up a certain way. You can't offend anyone. If someone talks shit to you, you stay shut.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to listen to your elders. You're supposed to take bad comments, toxic relationships. You're supposed to
Yeah.
be friends with people you don't want to be friends with. If something bad
Mm-hmm.
happens to you, like you were raped, you have to stay quiet because it brings shame to your family. You
Very
can't
true.
show emotions. Crying is a deadly sin. Sometimes you have to lie. And why I'm saying all of this is because after I told you guys, after I got to college, that's when I started questioning things. Obviously, that's when I started, I broke away. That was my alone
Mm-hmm.
time from last week's episode. I broke away from, depending on people, being on lockdown, even if it was with my emotions, whatever it was, right? I started to spend a lot of alone time, self reflect, all that, right? And I just want to know. First of all, I really want you guys to let us know. I know I'm not the only one. And I feel like I've had to talk about this because it's really known in our culture. Be okay with who you are. No matter if
Yes,
it goes against everything your family believes in. The person that you love the most should love you if they really love you for who you are, who you love, what you like, and not what they want you to be. Right?
exactly.
So, like I was saying, so it's really important for us to really be in tune with this and understand that old ways were okay in the old days, but we're in the new days, and our parents or family may not understand that, and we need to be the ones basically to break those cycles because it's important.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, to in today's day now, I've taught my parents some things. They're acting a little different, and it's because of me because I had to break that barrier, and I feel fucking good about it because I'm not leaving them
Damn right.
behind. So excuse
Exactly.
me. I need everyone to get on that wave. Okay. Okay.
Facts. And it's true. It's like when you decide to change the narrative on how you want to see connections in a way that's healthy for you, not in a way where you were taught to, you teach other people how to approach other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's crazy is that we are always told to be obedient and be nice. But a lot of people don't understand is that being nice is neglecting yourself.
And
Being
being
kind
fake.
is exactly. And only that, there's a narrative and a motive behind nice people. They're only nice to receive something. And I used to be just like that. That's why I could say that because I've had parents that were the same way, very manipulative, very gaslighting, and I see
Ugh.
why I attracted relationships and friendships like that because the way I was taught to see relationships, thinking that toxicity is love, is chemistry. But no, it's really you trauma bonding with someone who's mirroring the wounded part of you and you're mirroring the wounded part of them. So it's like, you know, and even if you look at Disney movies where we're taught like this is how love is, you give up yourself. Oh, he's talking to another girl, and you still have to like him and see if he could still love you and overgive until the point he caves in. It's like, no, no. That's where we keep the cycle going if we allow ourselves to listen to other people. But when we allow ourselves to see what it is that's not really making us feel happy or making us feel good, we have to change how we react to it and how we approach it. And therefore, you teach other people how to be like, how to think, how to
Yeah.
awaken to their shit, and how to take accountability. Because if you realize, we were taught that we can't step on toes and we can't speak the
Mm-hmm.
truth. It's because no one wants to take accountability for their shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point of connections is to grow. I'm gonna be real blunt with you guys. I don't hate a lot of things.
Oh,
But the
she's about
one
to get me started. Go ahead.
the one thing I hate, and it's like, oh, I want a relationship where there's only peace. No. What you're saying is that you want a relationship where no one takes accountability. But here's the thing, relationships are meant to trigger you. If your relationship is not
Absolutely.
triggering, exactly. If your relationship is not triggering you, then you're not growing. Plain
Yep.
and simple.
Yup.
Relationships teach you so much about what you do not see about yourself. But the whole point of a relationship when it's healthy is that you guys help each other deflect on what is it that it's like, oh, this is hurting me, that's hurting you. Like it helps you see what needs to change, you know?
Exactly.
And if you are staying in a relationship because you were told you have to compromise, oh, I
Woo.
don't believe in divorce. I don't believe in breaking up. I
Fuck
don't
that shit.
believe I don't I exactly. Or when someone breaks up with you, oh, I have to chase them. I don't believe in letting go. It's like, no. No, we have to change the narrative on how relationships are supposed to operate. I'm not saying to control it. I'm not saying to try to change someone. But what I am saying is that you cannot allow yourself to go down the road your parents went down. You cannot allow yourself to go down the road your family went down, because you're here to teach your family. You're here to teach the person that you're with, and you're here to teach your friends what is good for you. And the best thing I've learned too is when someone really loves you, they're willing to tell you what's hurting them, because they love themselves enough to let you know how you're not showing up for them, but how you're not showing up for yourself, because they
Exactly.
care about you enough to keep you in their life. And that's why I believe relationships are meant to trigger you. They're not meant to bring you happiness. They're not meant to complete you. They're meant to help you grow and see you.
Exactly.
I
I
rest my
just
case.
I just don't understand this fucking narrative like, "Oh, your relationship or your friendships need to be perfect. I've never fought with the person in my life. Everything's
That says a lot.
great. We get along. We don't argue." And I'm talking in that voice because that's what you sound like, little bitches. I'm sorry, but it's pissing me the fuck off. And I've always said it. It annoys the shit out of me. If you're not fighting with your partner in a healthy way, I'm not telling you if they're beating the shit out of you,
Yes.
that is not okay. Because let me know, because I'll roll up. But
Facts.
I'm talking. I don't know. My hormones are all over the place right now. You just triggered me in a good way, obviously. I don't understand this. Like, we're not perfect. We're supposed to learn about
Mm,
ourselves and about other people that we truly love and feel like we're one with in whatever shape or form it is, right? If it's anger
mhm.
that day, it's anger. If you triggered me and I triggered you, great. Let's take a step back, chill, and talk about it and move the fuck on.
Yes.
Those people that
Mhm.
have a fight or like have somebody just down on them, like eating them alive, and then you just stay there like, I'm the better person because I didn't say anything to you. But then down the line, when everything is fine, all of a sudden they're triggered and it wasn't even your, like, has nothing to do with you or
Yeah.
their relationship, and then they just start fucking blurting everything that bothered them, all this toxic shit. That's toxic as fuck. That's toxic
Mhm.
as fuck. And it's just like, I just really don't understand where people are getting this from. Like, we're not perfect. We're meant to have good and bad days with ourselves,
Mhm.
within our relationships, and we need to work through it. Not against it, but with it. And
With
it's
it.
just like, I feel like older people, they just take the high road. Like, I rather be,
Yeah.
I have family members that have specifically told my mom, they're not in this country, which is it just is funny because obviously they live in a different fucking fairy tale. That I think I said it before, that I had a specific person say, "Oh, you should tell her to be careful with her words, or to never, basically, like, to never say my truth or what bothers me, or what's not okay, because I may cause somebody to kill themselves."
Oh, yeah.
And what I said was, I can't wait for you guys to go home, because obviously they were fucking up my boundaries. Right.
Yeah.
And to put a little context with that, I'm just gonna put a little context because fuck it, why not? Um, I'm a lifeguard and I had a death happen to me, and it so happened to be a little kid. And to this day that has impacted me. And so having people over your house when you're basically in mourning and shock and all these different
Mhm.
emotions, and all everyone is caring about is themselves,
Yeah.
and why aren't you paying attention to me, and why aren't you gonna cook for me, and all this bullshit. How do you think
Mhm.
someone's gonna react? So of course I said, I can't wait for you guys to fucking leave. I need my peace. And because of that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cause somebody to fucking kill themselves. And I say that to teach you that it's okay to offend people. You don't need to fucking tell
Yes.
them, fuck you, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? There's cordial, nice ways to say things. But just understand that when someone's going to get triggered or when your truth is going to hurt or affect that person, you can say, I love you, but I don't like it. And they're still going to be offended.
Exactly. It's so true.
And we need to be okay with that. We need to be okay with that. We
We
really need
do.
to change that narrative because there's people like me. I just get so mad. I get so mad because it's not right.
Cause tension. You have to
Yeah.
cause tension.
Like,
Cause uncomfortability, you know? Like, I remember my dad has always been so controlling since he hasn't been there since I was a kid. And now he's trying to control my life and tell me what to do. And I remember I had to stop him and be like, listen, I may have came out your nut. I said it just like this. I may have came out your nutsack,
well,
but you
damn.
don't own me.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I said it just like that. I said it just like that because he offends everyone. He belittles people and he gaslights them and he gets a temper tantrum when no one's listening. Like, why don't you take my advice and stuff? And I told him, I was like, listen, I don't need to take advice from someone who doesn't have the results I want in life. And that's not to offend you. That's just to be fucking honest.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to share another story. When I was dating a girl, my ex, I remember where I always confront her about the things she would say to me I did not like, the things that she did. She always had a temper tantrum. She always got offensive. And not only that, she would go on about a whole list of things she did not like that I did. And I was like, why didn't you tell me that before? Why are you telling me now?
And that's why we did.
And she will,
Thank you. Next.
Hex, exactly. I mean, she dumped me, but I never chased after her after that. I never did. And she's like, I think we're just going to keep arguing. And I was like, no, you just lack communicating about how you feel and what you want. And this is why
Mhm.
you're running away like you always do. So it's
Yeah.
fine. Go ahead. Stay where you're at. And that's why I never returned. I left. I didn't cry. I wasn't mad. I just bounced. And it's not like I didn't cry over it. I did, but it was just a matter of I'm not going to try to convince someone to love me. I'm not going to stay somewhere where I don't want to be. I'm not going to be
Hmm.
friends with someone who just put me in the friend zone because they don't know how to be an emotionally mature adult. And,
Oof.
and on top of that, I'm not going to chase after someone who clearly told me they don't want me. And yet, we live in a society where we do the opposite. We run after people who don't want us. We don't speak up after ourselves. We don't want to cause tension.
We
We don't
lie.
want to we lie. And it's like, but why? Because one, we were taught that. And two is because we think we can't show ourselves or what we feel does not matter. But that's not fucking true. What you feel, your existence matters. That's why you're here. Plain and simple, and the way you feel matters. But if no one wants to listen to that and they get offended, that's their personal issue. That has nothing to do with you. Like now I'm at a point in my life where I confront everyone on their shit, not to offend them, not to hurt them. It's because it's not serving me. And I love them enough to let them know that. I'm willing to speak the truth rather than living a lie. Because
Exactly.
I rather be uncomfortable rather than being comfortable in what I don't want to do or be in, you know? And
Exactly.
I only share this with you guys is because if you want healthier connections, it has to start with you not being afraid speaking up for yourself. And
Exactly.
I'm a clear indicator. It took me until the year like 20 when I was 21 years old to start speaking up for myself. It took me
Yeah.
that long.
Same.
I allowed people to walk all over me all my life. I allowed people to control me, to use me, to hurt me, to tell me that I like my whole family would talk shit in my face. But anytime I stood up for myself, my dad will confront me like, no, you can't talk to your cousin like that. You can't talk to your aunt like that. You can't talk to me like that. But they could talk to me like that? Are you fucking
Exactly.
kidding me?
Where's the
Like,
respect, bro?
hell no.
Like,
Exactly. You're telling me to respect people, but they don't respect me? Fuck that. And now I'm at a point in my life where it's like, I don't care anymore. If you don't respect me, you don't deserve a place in my life. And that's where we got to be okay with allowing connections to die out and allowing new ones to come in. There's billions of people in this world who haven't met yet and who are excited to meet you. And
hmm
there's people you keep hanging on to that don't respect you when there's other people who are waiting to meet someone like you. You know, stop listening to how your parents stop imitating what your parents have done. Stop imitating what's in your family. Stop imitating friends. Because at the end of the day, behind closed doors, people got problems they don't talk about. But it's
exactly.
very Exactly. So it's like very important to not want to be like everyone and not act like everyone, because you have the right to see what is best for you. And it starts with you speaking up for yourself. So never be
Exactly.
scared of causing tension, because by you causing tension is by you making the truth be known, and that's when you see people's true colors.
Yup. Don't ever be scared to change the narrative. I don't know who the
Yeah.
fuck created this corny ass narrative that's going around all around the fucking world. You see it, but it's just it needs to be
Disney.
put to an end. I,
Blame
I
Disney.
I don't even know now because once upon a
I'm
time
sure.
everything is just so fucking different. Like people you thought were light, they're fucking dark, and it's just like, oh, this seems.
Hmm.
But then they have people that are bad and turn good, or good and bad. That's life.
Yeah.
That's a normal cycle. That's what we're supposed to be okay with. It's okay to be like, you lied. I don't like that you lied. I'm not okay with that. It's okay to be like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie right now and tell you that I'm good when I'm not. No, it's okay to be like, my mental health is not okay. It's okay to be like, that person makes me uncomfortable. I'm not going to hug them. It's okay to
Hmm.
be like, Mom, I don't like what you said to me. That's not okay.
Yeah.
You do this and that affects me. Right? It's okay
Hmm.
to talk. It's okay to say how you feel. It's okay to say what is happening in the moment. And it's okay to want to change that. It's also okay to have everyone go behind your back. It's go against you because you're going against the narrative that they're used to. It's okay because those that love you will understand. Most of the time they get over it. Sometimes they don't, and
Hmm.
that's their loss. At the end of the day,
It's
we
true.
need to be growing because I'm seeing a lot of people from the old days and they find themselves surrounded by all this new shit and all this new technology and ways of thinking and ways of like, kids that are fucking 9 years old saying what they want, saying what's
Hmm.
wrong, saying I am not okay right now, I need space, whatever, and then being like in this almost depressed state because they don't understand. You may not
Yeah.
understand, but you need to be open to want to, right? Because there's a difference. If you
Exactly.
block it off, you're going to be miserable. And I think that a lot of
Yes.
people need to hear that because, especially in our cultures, it's like, man, come on, man. Like, we're so fucking toxic. All we care about is
Yeah.
gossip. Oh, don't wear that because
That's how they
Fulanito,
bond. Yeah.
Fulanito from down the street is going to think that you're a hoe. Don't wear that. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck who that person is. They can think what
Heck.
they want. Like, what are you saying? Are you serious right now? Like, wow, the New
Yeah.
Yorker really came out of me right now, but
That
it's just like
really.
because I'm really passionate about this and I can really talk about this for days, but it's just I really need, if I even have one person impacted by this and like really make the change, and that's all I care about, because especially as young folks, we really need to hear that it's okay to be different.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the prodigy of no one but yourself.
Yes. Yes.
We need to
Hmm.
let go of these old ass ways, just like we need to let go of our fucking constitution. It needs a fucking redo. A lot of things in this
Yes.
fucking country need a redo, right? There's only so much.
Hmm.
Technology evolves, so our brain evolves. Life
Facts. Our body
evolves, thoughts
grows, we
evolves,
have to grow.
we evolve, our age
Mhm.
evolves, everything, mindsets, how we see the world fucking is evolving. So we gotta keep it pushing and not stay behind. Because it's not looking
Exactly.
cute. And I'm sure back then it wasn't looking cute either, but that's all they fucking knew how to do.
Hmm.
That's why when I go back to my country, it kind of bothers me, the shit that I see. They like,
Mm.
for them, I feel like for my country, it's all about, oh, the job that you have determines what kind of class you are. And which is the same
Yeah.
here, but in terms of like, oh, like they have money, they're good people. Oh, they don't really have money, so they're bad people.
Yeah.
The things you eat, the way you dress. Are you
Hmm.
serious? The way your body looks. If you're fat, you're trash. But if you're
Hmm.
if you're a stick showing your ass cheeks, oh, she's beautiful. What the who gives a fuck? Shut
Yeah.
up. Like, it's just, oh my god, I'm telling you, I need to go ahead, Britt, because I need to.
And-
My hormones are so high right now.
I believe it. I triggered her. But good, you're coming out with some golden nuggets because it's true. Like, even look at the school system. There's still schools that have chalkboards, bro. There's still schools who don't even update the curriculum. You know that I'm just gonna be real blunt with you guys. This is why I stopped going to college. I'm gonna share this story with you guys. So I remember there was a big party. I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta for film production, and there was this big party of big educators who worked in the board of education and stuff. And I asked one of the guys who said he's been in this fucking job for like almost 40 years. And I asked him, I was like, listen, I want to ask, what did I say precisely? I was like, why is it that people don't get the jobs that they want from the degrees that they get? And he's like, to be honest with you, since because he was retiring anyways, that's why they were having a party. But he was like, to be real honest with you, the reason why people don't is because our curriculum for the universities in the United States are curriculums from 10 years ago, not
Ass.
curriculums currently. Exactly. So I was like, that makes so much sense. Because even when I was going for school there, the cameras we used had tape recorders in it. But we went on a field trip to the warehouse of Vampire Diaries, where they use all the equipment for that show. The camera they had blew my fucking mind. It was like literally the size of my room, wall to wall,
Holy shit.
long as hell. So many different lenses, so many. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I was like, why are we not taught this? Why are we not taught what we're supposed to be taught in order to survive, in order to get the things that we're going for? Because everything is just a scam. And this goes back to everything that how we entwine ourselves with connections. It's like everything is just a scam, bro. Everything we've been taught, everything we've been told of what we should tolerate and what we should do is not serving our highest good. This is
Mm-hmm.
why we have to know ourselves, because now that I'm learning myself, like, you guys, I traveled for 3 years because I got away from my home, I got away from my family, I got away from the old ways to figure out myself. Now that I came back, I have a better relationship with my parents, and I've taught them so many new things to the point they treat me with more respect now.
As they should.
Now, exactly. And then now I'm attracting friends who respect and
Me.
appreciate me, and they always tell me, "Damn right, you my soul sister, bro." Damn well you my soul sister. And it's like freaking now, like after that last relationship, now that was my final lesson to understand what the hell I truly deserve, but what I need to do to get what I deserve in a
Mhm.
relationship. So it's like, you guys, we can't allow ourselves to get caught up in the ways of the world, because we're meant to create a new world within this world. Even it says in the Bible, bro, it's like, don't be of this world. You're not, just because we exist here doesn't mean we're meant to be like the world. We're meant to create a new world by changing the narrative, or by changing what we think is needed in the world, and be the example of that. So go
What,
ahead.
what what's the fucking point of being the same person? If we all looked the same, had the same body, had the same color hairs, had the same fucking clothes, had the same cars, had the same everything, what the fuck is
Everyone
the
tries
point
to
of
do it,
that?
bro.
And everyone, I've never, listen, I've never been one, and I can pat myself on the fucking back and say, you go girl. From high school, I never was the one that was trying to fit in terms of like,
Facts.
I want the newest clothes. I want this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like the attitude, the gangster life, whatever. That's why I was bullied, because I always stayed true to myself. The same thing in college. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't out
Same.
clapping my cheeks. I was doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do. Until this day, I still do what the fuck I want to do, because I am
Facts.
me. And I know that's
Mm-hmm.
intimidating to people. But guess what? When it comes to having 5 people, 4 are the same, and then there's me, I'm hella sure that I'm gonna stand out, and they rather have me, because who the
Facts.
fuck wants to have the same person? The only time it's okay to look like someone is when you're in a casting and they need you to look like exactly like that
Facts.
person. That's when you change your narrative, and But that's a
Yeah.
job. That's different. Life is not like that. You don't want
Mm-hmm.
to eat the same food every fucking day. Like, you're gonna get tired of
Facts.
it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to wear the same underwear the same fucking day. You're gonna die. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So come on
Yeast
now.
infection to the T.
Come on now.
I love that you brought about high school, because for me, for high school, I was so bullied, but I had the best fucking style. Like everyone copied my style. They're like, how can you? Because I remember in high school, everyone were like, oh, I have purple sneakers, so I got to wear purple shorts. I got to wear a purple shirt. Nah, me, I have like fucking blue shoes on. I'll be wearing a yellow shirt, but I rocked it. Like that was me. And I'm still like that. I wear particular things that people are just astonished. Like, how do you have the confidence to wear that? How do you have the confidence to look like that? I intimidate a lot of people because, like, even when I go out, people are always, I break necks, bro. And this is not to be conceited. I break necks because I stick out, because I stay true to myself and I choose authenticity and vulnerability over being fake and trying to be seen for someone I'm not. And the thing
Exactly.
is, when you try to be like someone else, you are going to attract authentic people because you're being inauthentic as well. But when you choose to be authentic and stay true to yourself, you attract people who are going to be like that as well. You get what you are. You don't get what you want. Plain and
Exactly.
simple.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, you guys. It takes a long time to trust yourself. It really, really does. But when I've allowed myself to keep going through the journey of heartbreak, of feeling abandoned and feeling lost, the more that I allowed myself to go through that process to find my authenticity, the more I could stay true to myself. And people really respect that. The right people fucking respect that. And that's what you want. You want to be who you feel like you are in your heart. Like for me, you guys, I'm lesbian. My mom does not fucking like that, but I don't give a fuck. I don't. And it's crazy because even when I have friends, they'll be like, oh, you'll find a great man. I was like, I'll find a great woman because I don't want a fucking man. Plain and simple. I'll never forget, like, even my mom one time, she was like, God can't help you if you're gay. And I remember calling my dad afterwards and saying that. He's like, how dare your mom be a hypocrite because she cheated on me with a woman? And it's like, I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm trying to be obedient and I'm trying to be someone else, but yet I have someone over here that I love so much being a hypocrite towards me. And I will never forget my dad was
Yikes.
like, "Britt, I don't care if you like a man, a girl, a elephant, someone who looks purple, as long as you are happy, I want you to be happy, I will be happy." So, you know, you guys, I say all this is because no matter what you've been through, and if people turn on you, if people abandon you, that's part of the process too.
Yeah.
It's part of the process. That's how you grow as a person. That's how you learn who is meant for you. That's how you see who's going to really have your back. But you got to be willing to have your back. You got to be willing to stand up for yourself, change the narrative, uh not react but act in a different way, show up different, be different. And the crazy thing is, the more that you do this, people are going to recognize the difference and they're going to want to pick the fuck out of that. They're going to want to kill that light, they're going to want to dim it. But the more you keep shining, you will attract moths. But the more you keep shining your light, the more the darkness won't be able to stand it, to the point you'll have no choice but those people are going to flee right out your life. Have you ever noticed when you shift, you guys? I want you guys to be really aware when things like this happen in your life. When you make a shift or you make a decision for yourself, you're going to really see how God has your back, or whatever deity you believe in. You're going to really see how people are going to leave your life immediately, how friends are going to leave your life, how people are going to start picking on you now because you decided to commit to a new way of being. And you're going to really see who's going to have your back. Of course, the higher realms are always going to have your back because they're cheering you on for the growth. But you're also going to realize, like, I don't really need those people. I don't really need this relationship. I don't really need my family to be there if they're not going to respect me. It's going to hurt. But you're going to realize that's the biggest strength you're ever going to have, is to be willing to let go of that old part of you and those old people and those old friends. And you're going to feel so empowered to the point you're never going to feel like you're alone. You're never going to be afraid. If anything, you're going to be so proud of yourself and excited to see what comes next. And let me tell you, that is a good place to be. A good fucking place to be.
Oof.
Mm.
I think that is a great segue to end it. If you really resonated with what Brittny just said, stay tuned for next week because we are going more in depth into that. It is all related, as you all know. So she already got the ball rolling. Woo.
Get your machetes ready because we're about to cut motherfuckers off.
Golden. Period.
So Puerto Rican of me, a machete.
Yeah, I know. Alrighty, folks. As you all know, you can always send us an email at mystifyingrealitypodcast@gmail.com and give us a follow at Mystifying Reality Podcast on Instagram. Like, share, follow, listen, please. Give us love, talk to us. And if no one has told you today, we love you.
And only love for you, boo-boo.
Only
See you on the next one.
See ya.